Hello, in this video I'm going to demonstrate how to do some foam rolling, which is great to do as a warm-up to the hard workout. So you can do foam rolling against the wall or on the floor. So if you have difficulties getting down to the floor, you can use a foam roller. It doesn't have to be this long, it could be a shorter one. So what you want to do is put it against the wall, and you can get your glutes. I like to start with the glutes, so you put it back behind your hips, and then you do kind of little squats up and down. So you would get your glutes. You can move it down to the back of your leg. It's a little harder to do it against the wall, but you can kind of lean back into it. Then you could get the side of your hips, so you would just turn your body to the side and just kind of smush your hips or your leg into the wall. You could go up and down a little bit. You know, you can get the side of your leg, etc., etc. It's harder to go up and down there, but you could smush it in. And then you want to skip over your low back and then put it up towards your shoulder blade area. And watch out if you have long hair. And then just really push back into it, so you're kind of squishing, and you just kind of do little wall squats here. You can do the same thing on the floor. It's a little bit more intense, but if you can get to the floor and up, you get a little bit of a better massage, which is what we're going after here. So you can sit on the foam roller. You know, just be careful that you don't fall off. So you're gonna have to make sure your abs are engaged, and you can support your weight like on your feet, on your hands. And you know, I'll show you from the side. So you're just sitting, don't smush into the bones there in your pelvis. Find a squishy spot in your pelvis, and then you would just gently kind of move around just a little bit. You could lean more to one side or the other side, or go a little bit front to back. So you're just trying to give yourself kind of a little massage. And then you can, so let's pretend like I'm like this. So I'm going to kind of roll off. I'm going to put the foam roller to one side, put my other foot flat, get into kind of a crab position, and then you can do the back of your leg, front to back. You can turn your leg in a little bit. You could turn your leg out a little bit, so get all the back of your leg. You could even do your calf here, turning your leg in and out, kind of all the way down. So the more weight, you can control how intense it is. Typically the calf is pretty intense by how much weight is on there. So if you don't really lift your glutes up at all, it's going to be less intense than if you lift your booty up there and you put more weight on it. If you put lots of weight on it, it's going to be more intense, but it's harder to hold your body. You have to really engage your abs, your arms, that kind of thing. So do what you can. If it hurts, don't do it. It might feel like, you know, when you get an intense massage, it feels like you kind of want to jump off the table because it's getting kind of at a trigger point. It could feel like that. So, you know, take it easy. You would just kind of hang out on that a little bit and just try to kind of loosen things up a little bit. Make sure if you're doing one leg at a time, you get both legs. So you do the same thing on the other side. You just kind of move a little front to back. You're just rolling the dough out like it's a rolling pin. You can turn your leg out a little bit. You can turn your leg in a little bit. You can go down to your calf, really kind of smush in there. And then you can also get your back, again, skip over your low back. That's just kind of dangerous to put a bunch of weight there. You might kind of yank at it. We don't need that. So maybe start at the bottom of your shoulder blades, and then you kind of just, I'll show you here. You kind of walk your feet forward. You could support your head so you don't strain your neck. And then you just kind of walk your feet forwards, kind of inchworm your way down. I think of it as like, I don't know if you ever like tried to put like wallpaper on the wall or something. So you get these little kind of, you're trying to make it really flat and smooth all the bubbles out. So that's kind of what I think of. I'm trying to kind of go along my back, kind of smoothing the bubbles out, just kind of encouraging circulation, pushing everything kind of up, all the lymph, all the, you know, the trapped old stagnant blood, trying to smush that out so it can be filled with new healthy fluids. So you can do that. You got your legs, you've got your back, you can do it against the wall, you can do it on the floor. The floor is more intense. You can lie down such that the foam roller goes along the side of your rib cage towards your armpit. This is pretty intense, so you would want, you would want to do this on carpet or have a mat, unless you don't care about gym germs, it's all good. Maybe that'll boost your biological immunity to be able to just roll around on the floor. I've done it back in the days before COVID, but give it a try. So you don't want to completely ram it into your armpit, but you're just kind of trying to get your side around, kind of along the side of your rib cage up towards your shoulder blades. Basically you're just trying to get your lats, your serratus, kind of the side of your rib cage into kind of your back a little bit. This tends to be really tight. Like if I lay kind of this way, I'm starting to get into kind of my pec minor. And I try not to breathe shallowly, but sometimes that happens and I can feel it. It gets super tight right there, kind of where the pec attaches there on the side in the armpit. I can feel it really tight. Maybe you can too. So you would just find that, ooh, you're going along, it's like, no big deal, no big deal. And then you find it and you're like, ooh, that's tender. So I just kind of stop and take a couple deep breaths, just kind of trying to let it, just trying to get some new fluids in there, just let it chilling out, working through the tightness. So that would be your lats and your armpits. You would do both sides. If you want, you typically you hold a lot of, everybody does hold a lot of tension in the chest, and that's harder. I mean, you can try to smush your chest with the foam roller, but it's really kind of awkward. So you're like smushing your face down into the floor. I mean, you can. With a smaller massaging tool, it works a lot better. So you can take a little tennis ball or one of those specifically developed massage balls, and you can just kind of rub it around, kind of from your armpit across. You're trying to get your pecs, your pectoralis muscles, major, minor, all that good stuff. If you want to do it against the floor, you can. Again, you're going to have the floor right in your face. So what a lot of people like is to go to the wall and kind of smush into the wall. You could do your arm. If the ball falls, don't worry about it. Or you can move your arm around. You can move your body around. You can do it against the floor. You would do both sides, so I'll show you. So you take your chest, put it kind of right there on the side of your chest and towards your armpit. You're going to probably find a place that's kind of tender to touch, and that's where you want to hang out. So you could roll around a little bit. You could do your arm a little bit. You don't have to, at the beginning, particularly in the warm-up, you don't have to hang out there very much. This is just warming up, just being like, if it doesn't move at all, it's going to be hard to do your harder exercises. So you want it to be somewhat mobile. So if it's super locked down, you want to get it kind of unlocked just a little bit. So you could even just take the ball, just kind of give yourself just a bit of a warm-up, trying to bring circulation in there, trying to get the muscle fibers themselves to kind of get physically warmer, get some blood in there, so it's not completely locked down. It's got a little bit of sponginess to it. It can move around. So that would be your taking the tennis ball. I'm just going to read what it says here. Take the tennis ball and do your chest. You could also do under your rib cage, because that can get kind of tight as well. You don't have to use the tennis ball here. I don't know, it feels kind of good. You can kind of get from the inside of your hip bone, which is probably tight, honestly, through kind of your side, kind of psoas area there, under the rib cage. Again, you just want it to not be super duper locked down. If it's like, oh, that's so tender to touch, maybe you stretch a little bit, maybe you do something to kind of warm up so you get some more blood in there. It's a little bit more, like warmer clay is more malleable. So we're just trying to kind of get it malleable, like warmed up clay. Okay, so we got that. That would be the things to do with the littler ball. You could just kind of hang your body over a big yoga ball. I'll show you that. So you got your bigger ball. Again, you know, this isn't on the write-up, but you could just kind of hang out. The idea is that, again, you're trying to kind of get it malleable, like warmed up clay, to make it move better. So that is all of the exercises listed as far as foam whirling goes in the warm-up. Let me know if you have any questions.